He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the people for whom it is still the evening. So good to see you people waking up again in the early morning. So Haribhai was giving a grace time of 1 hour of extra sleep, which has been broken again. But it seems like when you wake up 1 hour early, you people look much fresher than that. So might be the magic of Brahma Muhurt. So here we are, and still continuing the Antaryas, and hopefully we'll come to complete this today, because more than you, as I said, like Imon has been asking, and yesterday he said, okay, so is it the 100th part or what? Because you are still continuing with that. I said, no, that is not 100, but if we continue this way, we will. So anyways, so till last time, we were covered the 7th one, that is Bhranti Darshana. And today, what we are going to cover is Alabdha Bhumikatva. So Alabdha Bhumikatva is something that every one of us, again, when we discuss about it and when we narrate about it, we will come to know that somehow, somewhere, we also come into the same space. एक ऐसी जगह, एक ऐसे स्थान पे आ जाते हैं जहाँ पे हम सब इस चीज का एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, that what it is named as Alabdha Bhumikatva. Alabdha Bhumikatva का जो basic reference, if I have to give, like what it exactly is, and then why I say we all of us have gone through that. Some of us will be going through it, or somebody is going through it right now. And not only understanding this, how to come out of that is also what we are going to do today. And if possible, we'll be doing a specific meditation for that as well. A very typical one towards, if time permits. So we'll see, like, if possible, we will do the meditation on that part as well. Okay. So, alabdha bhumikatva. This refers to a very typical quality which is called as frustration and discouragement and unattainability. Matlab, you are doing certain activities again and again and again and again and again, but there is no result. And what leads to that? That leads to slight irritation. Still didn't work. It will take a more severe form. From irritation, it will become anger, anger to frustration. And many people don't understand that this is part of the process and they leave it. And when they leave it, they will never come out of that. Throughout their entire life, they will be living with the idea that this is how it is. It's not for me. It's not the cup of my tea. And this is not me exactly. And if you might have seen that it also happens the same case while people start doing even meditation. It's not that easy to stick to that. And why all these sessions are continued regularly is because so that you are kept in contact with it. Whatever you are going through, you should sail through that. Because until you sail through that, you will never pass it. It's just like somebody starts swimming in the river, and it is swimming and swimming and swimming, and still it is not able to see the end of the river. Now, how many of you would be intelligent enough and you are swimming and you still have energy actually? It's not that you have no energy or you cannot swim, but in the middle of the say, this river is too big. Let me not swim anymore. What will happen? Aditi, डूब जाएंगे. Anyways, you will drown in that space because it is so simple. When even this simple analogy that if you start swimming a river, you have to cross it over. If you don't swim in the middle, you will drown anyways. So in that space, if swimming is something that you see as an activity in sadhana also, can it be possible? It might be the same with anything that we do. See, we can ask for help. We can take a air tube. We can wear a life jacket so that, but the thing is we have to swim. हमें जाना ही पड़ेगा. And if we don't, either you will be floating at one place, not going anywhere, or if you are not wearing even a life jacket, you will drown there. What is a life jacket? These sessions are nothing else but life jackets that keeps you afloat. And if you just remove that, what will happen? You might be for some time you will do whatever you want to do with your hands and legs for some time trying to survive. But after some time, you will give up anyways. And then you will even ask the question, was it worth? So these things come. This alabdha bhumikatva is something that space many, not just many, everyone, from the greatest of the sages to the smallest of the kid, every one of us face that. At times it becomes so frustrating as an experience that, let's say, a very classic example of doing mantra jap. So mantra jap karte karte, if you fall asleep and suddenly you wake up and you say, oh my God, time is gone. Now I have to prepare something. I have to go somewhere. I have to take care of the things. And now the mala has not been completed yet. Right? Then what do? Neither you are doing the mala correctly because you are already worried about where you have to go. Neither that work is done because you have not completed the mala. And even if you drop the mala and you go, then there is a continuous thing going on within you that why I was not able to complete it. Something must be wrong with me. Why I could not wake up. Why I could not do this. Why I could not do that. That means what is happening there again is the same space. You are actually getting into that zone of alabdha bhumikatva, where you see like, okay, I was doing so well, why not happening now? Not only that, if you see the pattern of the processes that were given earlier compared to the pattern that right now, when was the last time a process was given? Long time ago. When was the last time we did a elaborated session? Might be a year ago. What is the reason? The reason again is a space which we call as alabdha bhumikatva. Why? Because people were saying, oh my God, at times it is overwhelming as well. How many processes shall I do? How many malas do I need to do? How many chantings I have to do? Then to a certain extent, what we understand is, okay, might be this is not the space. This is a place where they might have to take some rest. They might to take a break. But do you know how many of you, like almost all of you must have sat in a aeroplane. Okay. So when the aeroplane is starting from a particular point and it before flying, it takes a very high speed run on the runway. Yes. What if it has just started running very fast and suddenly it has to stop in the middle of that? Let's say it has already covered 200 meters, 300 meters, and it has to stop. Can it still fly from there? Or it has to come to the first place from where it began? उसे वहीं शुरू करना पड़ेगा. It has to go back again, gain the momentum, and then it has to go back again. And that's exactly what happens to you people. They give up in the middle, but somehow their calling, their pulling is already there in their lives. That calling keeps them at times when you get irritated, no? And at times you say, oh my God, why I'm not able to do that? I'm not able to do this. Somehow I still see that their string of the divine is still attached to you. That is pulling it you towards it. And that's why you are not able to sustain only in the world and you are still being pulled there and you feel like, oh, I should go there. That is still a good point. Okay. It's just like this. I can tell you in a very scientific way. If people, those who have diabetic and have diabetic neuropathy in their legs, पैर में जलन होता है बहुत. Okay. They might be having severe burning and pain in their legs. But the doctor says, if there is a pain and swelling and pain in the leg, that is a good sign that the nerves are still alive and it can be cured. If it has gone numb, then it is a difficulty, it's a problem. That means, what that indicates, that if you are having still a pain, that why I'm not able to do that, or why I'm not going there, or why, that means what? There is still a hope. There is still something that you are connected. There is something that is not allowing to go anywhere. आपको छोड़ने को तैयार नहीं है वो. So that's a good sign, even if you are getting irritated and frustrated at times about what you are doing. That's also a good sign that, okay, there is a chances that this person can again come back into the track. So now, in order to understand this, let me narrate a small little story. A small story, but a very, very beautiful one. Because when we as human beings, and we always see ourselves are very not that great as in sadhana, not that great in anything that we do. And we always say, मैं तो कुछ करता ही नहीं हूँ, मैं तो कुछ करती ही नहीं हूँ, but उनको देखो वो कितना अच्छा करते हैं, उनको देखो कितना अच्छा है. So in this space, what we do is we always give the credit to the other people. We don't even consider ourselves that we have done something in our lives. And again, time and again, that has been told that even if you have taken the name, even if you have touched that space for a moment, that itself is a great boon. It's a blessing. And I don't know like how many times, how many in how many ways you might have been touched in that space. But we still have a doubt. So let me tell you a story. A story Okay, so have you heard of the name of Tulsidas? Now, you being Indians and you not knowing the name of Tulsidas means you don't know Ramayana itself. Okay, so Tulsidas, and then there was another person named as Surdas. And if you have not heard of Surdas, then you are not a Bhakta. You have not gone into the path of Bhakti anyways. Because if you go to Vrindavan and you say सूरदास को नहीं जानता, तुमको पहले निकाल के फेंकेंगे बाहर, तो तुम बाहर निकलो. So this is a beautiful narration, a very बहुत प्रचलित कथा है actually. It's a very well-known story, and especially in that area they speak a lot about it. But a very beautiful one. One fine day, Tulsidas was the one who believed in Ram, right? And Surdas was someone who believed in Krishna. So once Tulsidas goes to Vrindavan, and then he meets Surdas ji. And he used to say, but in fun and frolic kind of thing, he always used to say, क्या ये टेढ़े मेढ़े भगवान की पूजा करते हो तुम? What are worshipping a person who even cannot stand straight? Look at Ram, how how straight he is. Look at him like he is all graceful. And इनको देखो. And always he used to tease him in that way. Then Surdas always used to hear that, नहीं नहीं, मेरे तो बांके गिरधर बिहारी. Means whichever way he is, that is, I accept him. And one fine day, it went to such an extent where Surdas ji and Tulsidas ji were sitting, and a long talk went about that Ram is great, and he says Krishna is great, this is great, that is. बहुत देर तक चला. And then finally they said, okay, so let's come to a conclusion. And what conclusion do you want to come? Then Tulsidas ji suggested, let's do one thing. Let's put a weighing machine. तो पहले आता था ना पलड़ा. Like if you hold, and on two sides there would be basket, and one side they keep, like whenever you go to the vegetable shops also, now the digital ones have come. Earlier the one side they would used to put the vegetables, on the other side the weights, so that it can be measured, right? So similarly they said, okay, let's do that. And on one side you sit, on the other side I will sit, and whoever comes down, he's the winner because his weight is more. So let's do that. Let's do a litmus test. Is Krishna bigger or Ram? Now can you see, we people, we think like, okay, kaun bada, kaun chota. Now at that place, Tulsidas ji and Surdas ji, जिनको साक्षात दर्शन हुए हैं, right? They play with them on a daily basis, kind of thing, you can say. So what happens is, then they both arranged a big weighing machine was done, and when it was ready, Surdas ji went with the small idol of Krishna in his hand, and Tulsidas ji went with Ram. And when they went there, because we all know Surdas ji cannot see, right? Because he was blind at that time. So he was allowed to sit first. So he was made to sit on the one side. And while sitting, he said, "Oh, mere Kanha ji, laaj rakh lena." तो बैठ गए एक साइड में. He sat on one side saying that, "Oh Krishna, just keep my thing. तुम्हारे नाम से, on your name, it's a place where you have to prove that you are the best." You see, at times we even fight for our जो इष्ट देव हमारे होते हैं ना, हम कहते हैं हमारा इष्ट देव बड़ा, वो कहते हैं नहीं हमारा इष्ट देव बड़ा. So one side वो बैठ गए, and as you know, like if he sits, it goes down anyways. On the other side, Tulsidas ji with Ram, he jumped and sat. And when he sat, वो बोलते मेरे तो सीताराम, मेरे तो सीताराम, मेरे तो सीताराम. Now when he said that and sat, slowly the weighing machine come to a balance, And don't worry, it was not balanced. It will slowly went down and Ram's basket went down. मतलब तुलसीदास जी का जो पलड़ा था वो भारी हो गया और वो नीचे आ गया. And Surdas ji even could not see because he was blind. He could not see what is happening. He was just feeling like, why I'm going up and up. And then when Tulsidas ji's basket touched the ground, he started smiling and laughing and said, Surdas ji, dekh lo. Because there was one condition that was done. The condition was, if Ram proves to be more weight, then you will stop singing the songs for Krishna and you start singing the songs of Ram. तुमको राम के शरण में आना पड़ेगा, तुमको वो टेढ़े मेढ़े को छोड़ना पड़ेगा. And then the same was told to him. If Krishna's basket comes down, then you have to leave Ram and you have to follow Girdhar Gopal. But here the case was Ram's basket went down, means Tulsidas ji weight was down. And then Tulsidas ji was laughing and saying to Surdas ji, dekh lo, just see, राम का पलड़ा भारी है, इसीलिए तैयार हो जाओ कल से. From tomorrow on, you have to sing the songs of Ram. Prepare some new ones, go. And listening to this, Surdas ji was disheartened. And he went to the room with the small little Krishna in his hand. And when he went inside his small little hut, he kept Krishna aside and said, Ja tu idhar se. You could not do this much. And now I have been following you for so long, and you don't even, just thoda sa wajan to badhana tha, you just have to increase a little bit weight. You were just 6 months old, you were only 6 days old, you have killed so many Rakshasas and so many Devatas. Sorry, so many Rakshasas and demons in that space. You have killed them at that age. 6 महीने में, 3 दिन के बाद, 5 दिन में, 10 दिन में, 15 दिन में, you have shown so much of miracles. थोड़ा सा weight नहीं बढ़ा पाए. You could not increase a little bit of weight for me. What kind of you think you are? जा उधर बैठ चल. I'm not going to do puja of yours anyways. And then he says, पूतना जहर पिलाने आई थी, फिर भी उसका उद्धार कर दिया. And I have been doing your worship for my life long, and you could not help me this time. It is proven that you don't have power. Tabi that little Krishna makes the sound and says, Baba, just listen to me once. He said, no, nothing listening. You go. Can you see that a God is speaking and he is still discarding him? इसे कहते भक्त का गुमार. That's the relation that they have. They can get angry on their God. And then he's saying, जा यहां से, जरूरत नहीं है, कल से तो मुझे उसका नाम गाना पड़ेगा, तू जा. Then Krishna says, please listen to me once, and after that, whatever you say, I will agree to that. So Das ji कहते, okay, bol, what you have to say. Now you see, on your side, there was only 1.5. On his side, there were 3. If 3 people are sitting on one side and 1.5 people are sitting on one side, whose weight will be more? He said, matlab, like, what do you mean by that? Now you see, when you sat on the basket, what were you saying? Ne, mere to Girdhar Gopal. You see, I am already a child. What would be my weight? And then you are also not that great. You are also slim, trim. And you are sitting on one side, and on the other side, you look. He is all well fed, Tulsidas ji. And then while sitting, he says, Mere to Sita Ram. All 3 adults. On one side, one thin adult and a small little kid. On the other side, 3 full-grown adults. Whose weight will be more? If you would have called me Mere to Radha Mohan, and then I would have told you like whose weight is more. But you only took the name of this small little baby, so I went in that way. What's my problem? Then Surdas says, what should I do? Go again. And this time you take both the names. And not only that, take the names of gopis also. Let's see who wins. And then this time Surdas ji goes to Tulsi ji and says, no, 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 no. This is not done. We have to sit on the weight again, on the weighing machine again. Then Tulsi ji says, why? No, no, I didn't understood the rules correctly. So I want to sit and let's do it again. And Tulsidas ji laughed and comes closer to Surdas ji and holds him tightly, hugs him and says, I know who has taught you all this and what drama he wants to do. जिसने सिखा के भेजा है ना उसको जाके बोल दे और नहीं होगा. The one who has taught you all this, tell him that this drama is over. But at the same time he says, see, it's not about who is big or who is small. They both are the same. The only thing is we have found them in different ways. And if he was doing the Leela, we also did something in that space. But there is nothing called as a big or a small in this space. And then when we come to our lives, even they, in their talks, might be a very beautiful way of experiencing that. But in that talks itself, at times we also get lost. Mera acha ya unka? Am I experiencing the right thing or wo? Am I seeing it in the right way or those people are having? Now, Kamlender ji, whenever he says, like people are gone, my God, he has reached there. What about us? Right? That indicates that if somebody has reached, you can also reach. That means you are also walking the same path. They are also walking the same path. And if I continue to walk on the same path, what will happen? Won't you reach the same space? Won't you reach to the same place? So the thing is, let us not stop there. And the problem that we face is after doing a particular sadhana, after doing a particular process, let's say I did that process for saving me or safeguarding me from a particular thing. But that thing happens. Then what? Let's say आप महामृत्युंजय जाप कर रहे हो कि किसी की प्राण बच जाए, लेकिन उनकी मृत्यु हो जाती है. What would you do? Then can you say that the efficacy of the mantra is not there? Can you say that the mantra did not work? You cannot even say that. You know why? How do you know that how long that mantra kept that person alive? You only saw the time of the death, but that time of death could have been earlier also. Might be 5 minutes ago, might be 10 minutes ago. Do you know that? And how wise would it be on my end to say that it did not work? Nahi bol sakta. Why? Because I don't know. If I knew that this is the time of death and it did not work, then I can question. But I don't know. Then, without knowing something completely and you are taking a decision or you are giving a judgment, is it right? Not right. So when we look at our lives, हमारे जीवन में जो हो रहा है, how do you know that it has worked or not? How do you know it would not have been worse? How do you know that? That means your work is not to judge. Your work is to do what was prescribed. You go to the doctor. And if you know something about the medication, you judge there and you ask, okay, so this is the test, this is the test, this is the test. And the doctor says, oh, you already know all these things. He said, yes. But a person who does not know anything about it, When the doctor says, okay, you have to go for this test and you have to take this medication, what do? You have to follow that. Why do you follow? Because he has a proven track record of that. What is the proven track record? He has read about it. He has studied it. He has gained the knowledge about it. And then what he's suggesting is based on his experience. And he has cured people on that part. And you not only believe in him, you also follow whatever was said to you. Is it not? So similarly, the only problem that people face in spirituality, I can give you a very beautiful example, and Rajanji and all these people will agree to that. Reiki. Okay. Reiki, when it was earlier, when it was started, you see, you cannot see any physical changes while doing that. Experience of that person can be taken into record. But at a physical level, you cannot do anything as such. Similarly, there is another process, what you call? They use needles, right? What do you call that process? Acupuncture. Right, Revati ji, thank you. I could do the lip reading. So acupuncture. So when earlier in the initial stages, when acupuncture was started, they claimed that even before the disease comes into play, you will be cured. It will not allow you to go into that stage itself. And there are many such practices which assures that if you do this, even a disease that has not started or might start after 6 months or 1 year, that can be cured. Now just tell me, if it worked and the disease never came, what will you say? ये कैसा था, कभी हुआ ही नहीं मुझे, आई बेकार में पैसा खर्चा किया वहां जाके, आई जस्ट स्पेंट द मनी देयर, वेस्टेड इट. यस. और अगर आ गया तो बोले क्या फायदा, बेकार वो करा के भी पैसा वेस्ट है. कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड? इन बोथ वेज दे आर फेलिंग. Despite they helping you, they seem to fail in both ways. If it happens, you say it did not work. If it didn't happen, what was the use? And that is where even this space of spirituality comes into play. If it didn't happen, बेकार में इतना जाप करने का क्या जरूरत था, इतना टाइम गया उसमें. और अगर हो गया, मंत्र काम ही नहीं कर रहा है. So here the dilemma of the unknown. The dilemma of the unknown is, I don't know how it works. Then one thing comes into play again, and that is called as the जो भरोसा कहते हो आप, faith and belief. Faith and belief are tested in this space. और जब अलब्ध भूमिकत्व होता है, it comes to a very typical space where the tests are given in a such way that you won't understand. For example, Adirji sent a message stating like the story of क्या, किसका? आपको जो पसंद है वही नाम बुलवाना चाहते हैं आपसे. So when Kedarnath, she was talking about Kedarnath. So we all know the story of Kedarnath, right? That when Pandavas went in search of Shiva, he hid himself in the form of Nandi. And then we all know, like the rest of the story might be, sometime we might talk about that elaborately. Now the first question would be asked, like, why was he hiding? You are searching for the God and he's hiding. What kind of God is it? That should be your first question. Similarly, when I'm searching, when I'm asking, when I'm coming up, and as the reels of Soumyaji speaks every day about Shiva, there is and that very moment you feel like, I'm calling and he's not showing up. Then what? And what if he has changed his form and is now hiding? Then what? The question that we all come to a space, like हम सब में वो question आता है, where is he hiding? कहाँ छिपा हुआ है? Can't we understand why he is hiding? It is not hiding that it does not want to come in front of you. It is just hiding to make sure you reach to that space where you never fall back again. आप एक ऐसे स्तर पे पहुंच जाओ जहां से आप उतर ही ना पाओ फिर से. Once you reach that space, you will never come back. Or else what happens? Easy come, easy go. आसानी से आया, आसानी से चला गया. Just like our breath. आसानी से आया, आसानी से चला गया. It came easy, it went easy. But if you have a breathing problem, how would you gasp for that breath? You'll be waiting when it is coming next. I understand, like, you people have reached to a certain space where you say, "Okay, chalo, nahi aaye to bhi chalega." If it does not come, also fine. But that moment, can't it be, let's say, you have been doing a chanting and suddenly you have that problem with your breath. You are not able to breathe, or you are in severe pain, or things are not happening the way you wanted it to. Is it a time of faith, belief, or it's a time of forgetting? कई सारे लोग कहते हैं कि मृत्यु के समय जो तकलीफ होती है, like at the time of death, the pain that people goes through, that they forget to take the name of God. ये आभा जी भी पूछे थे last week. But at the same time, what do I say? Your pain should also make you to remember him. क्योंकि just a very practical way of understanding it, when even today or when you were a kid, when you heard something, what was the first word that comes to your mouth? माँ का नाम कैसे भी आ जाता है. आउच. अभी तो इंग्लिश पढ़ने के बाद आउच बोलते हैं, लेकिन हम तो बचपन से माँ बोल के बोलते थे. Is it not? Because nowadays nobody is calling ma, everybody is daddy and papa. And that papa and daddy is not having that kind of connection. The way, if you say ma and the way you call, hey pops, it seems like a popsicle. Now, it might look cool, but where is that connectivity? You just hit your legs and you say, oh, popsicle. What would people, the people would laugh. You are in pain and people would laugh like, what is he saying? And I might have told you earlier, in my place, even if I hit something with my feet, the very next moment they have taught us, like, your hand will automatically go here and come here and say, Narayan, Narayan, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Why were these things brought into play? It's a very well designed process, a very well designed process. Because anything you touch with your feet, the very moment you touch your feet, and I was asking this question once to my grandfather, and the answer that I got at that moment. So I was around, like, yeah, I was 5 or 6 at that time. So in the early morning hours, I used to go with him to bring milk. So I used to walk with him every day. There was a temple. I used to go to the temple. We would pluck the flowers for the puja, and then we would collect the milk and come back. So I clearly remember that day. I was running in the temple and I fell down. And when I fell down, I noticed that there was some metallic thing that was fallen there, which I hit. I didn't knew that. I hit and I fell down. I had a scratch on my legs and all those things. By the time I get up, my grandfather was behind. He said, what happened? I said, I was crying. I said, just like any other kid. Don't think like I didn't cry. No, I cried. And I was also saying, and then he said, what happened? लग गया पैर में. Oh, विष्णु विष्णु बोला कि नहीं? I said, I'm in pain and you are asking me to say Vishnu and Vishnu. He said, that's it. Whenever you hurt, whenever your leg touches something, just do the Vishnu and Vishnu. And this fellow was an intelligent one. He said, anything that touches my feet, I should say Vishnu, Vishnu. He says, yes. Knowingly, unknowingly, whenever you hit it, say Vishnu, Vishnu. I said, why? Now, in that way, even an error becomes a prayer. Is it not beautiful? Even an error becomes a prayer. And I said, that fellow was not a very simple guy, right? Too intelligent at that time also. He said, okay, what about every time I take a step and my feet is touching the ground? What should I do? He laughed and said, Vishnu, Vishnu. Then every step of yours becomes a prayer. He said, it is not just the error. And if you understood this, every step of yours becomes your sadhana. Every step. Why? Because you have a practice that anything that touches your feet, you say Vishnu, Vishnu. And now, if you start walking, and every time your feet is touching the ground, and every time what chanting would go inside you? And all the people, those who have a problem, they say, I cannot take the name, नाम जाप नहीं हो पा रहा या मंत्र नहीं पढ़ पा रहा हूं. Just think of every day. Kushal, how many steps do you take every day? See, now we all have these digital watches and Fitbit and all that bands in our hands. And whenever we walk, it gives a beep in that day. Every day I get a beep like, okay, 7,000 steps done, 10,000 steps done. Now just think of if 7,000 steps you are conscious and taking the name of Vishnu, Shiva, Ram, whatever. कितना नाम जाप हो गया आपका? And how conscious would be with your every step? Your every step becomes the jap on a mala. माला भी तो पद ही है ना. It is also a step ना. So एक पद, दो पद, 108 पद. Every time you are rolling a mala, it's just like taking a step. And even throughout the day, if you just remember this and while walking, okay, I understand you cannot remember every time. But from learning this also, if 20 times also you are taking the name, won't you believe that 20 minutes, like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you are connected to the divine? Then every step of yours will not just the step that you are taking to go somewhere. No, the very moment you put the step, you are connected to the divine. You are not going towards the divine, you are meeting the divine that very moment. Yes, why not? Anything. Bhajan can be गा सकते हो, कुछ भी कर सकते हो. Why not? But that was a small little story from my life. And I am telling the same thing, that how beautifully the things can be inculcated into kids. And if these things are inculcated, what do you think what will happen to them in the long run? It will be so beautiful. Knowingly, unknowingly, they will be taking the name. And even पुराणों में इसका वर्णन है. Even unknowingly you took the name, or even unknowingly आपके हाथ से बेलपत्र गिरे, even unknowingly some water fell on it, you still get the benefits of it. It's just like knowingly, unknowingly you went into the sun, you will get the light anyways, you will feel the heat anyways. And if you make this a practice of it, and there is a beautiful song, no? सांसों की माला पे सुमरूं मैं शिव का नाम. Means every breath it comes and goes and I chant the name of Shiva. So क्या हो गया? माला बन गई, लड़ी बन गई है. It came as a circle, it became a mala of my life. And with every breath, if I call the name, how many breaths do you take every day? And even though if that was your last, then also you took it, because humans are social animals of habit. ये साइंस कहता है. You are nothing else but a person of your habit. आप पर्टिकुलर तरीके से हर चीज को करते हो बेस्ड ऑन योर हैबिट. Some people write with the right hand, some people with the left hand. Now you say, oh, I cannot write with the left hand. No, you have not practiced it. Start writing for some days and you will see in the left hand also you can easily write. It is all about your practices. Now, again coming back to Alabdha Bhumikatva. So this space where you feel like, why I am not experiencing, that frustration that grows, that discouragement that happens, because let's say you are a very young person and you are struggling with certain things in your life right now, especially let's say jobs. It would be very easy, very frustrating, right? Because let's say you have left everything, gone somewhere and no support around. And then the one you want to get support, he does not call you. Then another story, right? He does not pick it up. I know, like, there are still some lot of pending phone calls. Don't worry, I'm taking one by one. So आपका समय आ जाएगा. So don't worry. So I'm not forgotten who have all given messages to me. I will pick their calls. The only thing is I have been occupied. Might be few people would be lucky that I'll be getting the call today itself. Okay. So that frustration that happens when things are not happening. I'm calling, they're not listening. I want to just, but things are not happening. Progress seems slow. Progress seems unattainable. पहुंचा ही नहीं जा सकता. जो मैं साधना कर रहा हूं, जो भी मंत्र जाप कर रहा हूं, इसको देख के लग ही नहीं रहा कि मैं पहुंच पाऊंगा. या कभी कभी एट टाइम्स जाप करते करते शरीर में इतनी ऊर्जा हो जाती है. Too much of energy is also at times suppressive. इतनी ऊर्जा हो जाती है, कैसे संभालू, कैसे करूं? How can I do this? That is also one place. But all these things, and again, at times, you are so engrossed in the name or in spirituality, you don't want to do anything of the worldly things. And when somebody asks you to do anything of the world, you get frustrated. And then you don't know why I'm getting frustrated. You don't even know, क्यों ये चिढ़ छूट रही है भाई? And then the moment you think, oh, मैं तो साधना कर रहा हूँ, सत्संग अटेंड कर रहा हूँ, फिर भी गुस्सा आ रहा है, and now you are more angry on that. You are not just frustrated on others, you are more frustrated on yourself. You know why? Because you have not accepted yourself the way you are. हरी तू जैसो तैसो मेरो तो बोल दिए, लेकिन ये अपने आप से नहीं बोल पाए कि तू जैसो तैसो मेरो. Now, a beautiful question might arrive at that point. Won't it divert me from my path? If I just say, like, okay, I could not do it, okay, it's okay today. I could not do that, it's okay today. आज मैंने माला नहीं किया, it's okay. आज मैंने पूजा नहीं किया, it's okay. मैंने नाम जाप नहीं किया, it's okay. क्या ये सही बात है? Let me ask you the question then. If you were not on the right path, you are diverted, you won't even ask the question. You asking the question itself indicates that you want to walk that path, and today you could not do it, but tomorrow you will. Make sense now? वो frustration आने का कारण ही क्या है? That's what I say. At times the pain is the blessing. You all remember, like Haribhai shares on the 9th day when he was in the क्या वो devil's track. मैं बोला भगवान के रास्ते चलने चाहिए, devil's track में क्या कर रहे थे तुम? And he jumped, and we all know, like, he had a leg fracture and all the story he has already shared. But he was going through that. But in that space, what grew is my question. You are going through it, but what is growing out of you in this space is my question. You are handling all the situations of life. My dear friend, have we forgotten that the most problematic zone of my life is not this what I am right now? There have been situations in my life where I always thought this is the worst thing of my life. How many times it has happened and it has gone? That means it's an indication that you are far more bigger than what you think yourself, but you shrink yourself in that moment looking at the problem that is in front of you. But you have overcome all that. If you would not have overcome that, you would not have been breathing right now, is my understanding. Yes or yes? नहीं तो सांसें कैसे ले रहे हो यार? कब तक चले गए होते थे आप? सांसें चल रही है, इसका मतलब ही यही है कि आप जीतते आए हो. और जब तक up until there are tests, there cannot be testimony. If there are no tests, there cannot be testimonies. आपने टेस्ट दिया है and you are the testimony of that you have won over it. We are worried about one small things of life that is happening right now. At a time, just do one thing. Sit down and remember all the problems of your life that you have already overcome. You want to do a analysis, right? Double G, what you call that? SWOT analysis. Even if you want to do a SWOT analysis, why don't you do it on your own life? Why to do a SWOT analysis on other people? Why not on my own self? SWOT analysis is a corporate word, but that can be applied to your own life also. So when you actually look at what all has happened in your life, you will come to know that you have been a winner over things, and even without knowing how you did that. Who was there? कौन था वहां पे? Because once you see that trend, this moment will change. Why? Because now you know that it can be overcome. Do you know, like there was a 100-meter race was thought impossible to be crossed within the 4-minute or something mark. I don't like, no, not less than that, might be 40 seconds or something was the world record. Forgive me if I'm not telling the right numbers, but you can search on it. So it was said that it is humanly not possible. Then one person did that. The moment one person did that, within 2 years, more than 2,000 people did that, even school kids, which was thought to be impossible, once done, was being able to done by even kids. What was the possibility? The possibility is nothing else but the realization that it can be done. And I want you to analyze your life, the situation that you are in. Now go back and refer to your own life. I am not saying to get motivated or take some inspiration. It is good to take that. But look at your own life. Your own life has not just been, you have not been taking breath. You have been an inspiration as well. Look at that once. And then what we could say, Sashiji, is it's not just perspiration, it's your inspiration also. Because when you are taking the breath coming and going, you look at your life story and you will see what all you have overcome. And if you come to that knowledge, you will realize that it has already always been there with me. वो हमेशा से मेरे साथ था. दिखाई दिया हो नहीं दिया हो, whether it could have been come in front of me or not, but it was always there guiding me as my guiding force. And that itself would take you away from this space of frustration. And at the same time, always remember, it does not give you any test without preparing you. आपको कभी कोई परीक्षा देने नहीं देगा आपको तैयार किए बिना. So what you have to, from our side, what we have to ensure is that every progress that I make, it should be well grounded. Means, if I am reaching to a particular sadhana, I would do it in such a beautiful way that I create a base out of it. मतलब इतने, don't make it complicated. Keep it so simple that you become grounded in that space. And at times, some people start gaining some instincts, some things start happening in their lives. Let's say they are able to tell what is going to happen. And what they do, they spend that energy in just telling that. They are not grounded. So for in your case, what you have to do, you have to keep it grounded. When you are having that kind of experiences, share just with people, those who can guide you in the right path. Tell to them, or else keep it to your own self. अपने तक सीमित रखो, because people won't understand what you are going through. Then, if you continue to do your job, sadhana and meditation, that will help you to get a good grip on the sadhana that you are doing. It is important not to lose sight of reality. Sight of reality means here it's not the worldly things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the reality that is beyond this realm, means the creator itself. So if you completely focus on the creative part, and if you look at your life, just a small little thing that you call as life, right? And in this life, one particular area when we come to Alabdha Bhumikatva is, let me give you a statement. You can write it down and you can keep it with you forever. The statement is, what am I searching? What is everyone searching for? And you will find one answer. It's not liberation. It's not wealth. It is not happiness. It's nothing as such. The only thing that I'm searching for is Shanti, is peace. If you are absolutely peaceful and blissful in this moment, will you be waiting for your nirvana? Nahi na? If you're absolutely blissful in this moment, will you even search for anything else? No. That means that peace is something that we are all running behind, but we are not finding that. Now, it's just like this. You are running and saying, I am peaceful. How is it possible? आप भाग रहे हो और बोल रहे हो मुझे क्यों शांति नहीं मिल रही. भाग रहे हो इसीलिए शांति नहीं मिल रही, भ्रांति मिल रही है. And everybody is running. But why the run? उसका स्टेटमेंट देना चाहता हूं. Always remember, हमको ये लगता है कि I am not complete. Something else is there that will make me complete. वो कुछ भी हो सकता है. वो गाड़ी, बंगला, घर, पैसे, नौकरी, सब कुछ हो सकता है. Even God. कि मैं पूर्ण नहीं हूं, मैं संपूर्ण नहीं हूं. I am not complete. But just change this statement. You can say that I need this because I am incomplete, or I am the one who completes everything. Things don't complete me. I am the one who completes everything. What does that mean? Can you see? It's a very simple statement, but if it enters into you, if you get this clearly, if you understand the depth of this, might be a very small word that I said, but the depth of it is very, very deep. If you just remember this one word thing, that I am not just running behind things so that they can make me complete, but I am the one who makes things complete. And is it true or not is my question. क्या कोई भी चीज आपको पूर्ण करता है या आपके होने से वो चीज की संपूर्णता आ जाती है? Without you, it is not possible for anything to be complete. And we have been thinking it in the wrong way, in the opposite manner. हमको ये लगता था कि वो चीजों के वजह से हम कंप्लीट होंगे. ओके, हैंगर में कपड़े टंगे हुए हैं. ओके, you look, it looks good. but does it really look good until and unless it is used for the way it was designed? उसका कोई महत्व रहेगा? वो जो कपड़ा वहां लटका हुआ है, जो गाड़ियां वहां खड़े हुए हैं, how many times, Shashi ji, we have seen in English movies where the doomsday has come and everybody has died and only the cars, the houses and everything is just left out. Now, if those things, when I look at that, I get idea that when we are running about all these things, when I even see that movie, when I think that, okay, I was thinking like all these things would complete me. But when I am not there, what is happening to those things? Even that scene of the movie can awake you. कि मुझे लगता था ये सारी चीजें ये आएंगी तो मुझे खुशियां मिलेंगी, लेकिन जब मैं ही नहीं हूं, ये वहीं के वहीं पड़े रह जाएंगे. मीन्स व्हाट? द वर्ल्ड दैट आई एम सीकिंग cannot complete me, because without me the world will just lie as is. So कौन पूर्ण करता है सारे चीजों को? Who completes all the things? Is it you? Do you say yes to that? Or anybody says no to it? क्या आप ही हो जो सारे चीजों को पूर्ण करते हो? Raise your hand if you are agreeing to that, or type no, I am not that, so that I at least come to understand that लोग सुन रहे हैं या तो सो गए हैं. नहीं, कुछ लोग तो मूवमेंट कर रहे हैं, सो उनसे पता चल रहा है, लेकिन कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं. So if you agree that आप ही सारे चीजों को पूर्ण करते हो, and you are the one who completes everything, then who are you? Caught you. पकड़ लिया. If you are the one, you are agreeing that you are the one who completes everything, then who are you? And if you are that, what are you searching? And what are you worried about? At times we design the game and we fall a prey into that game. गेम पूरा मैंने ही डिजाइन किया और मैं ही फंसा हुआ हूं उसमें. उन्हें क्या बोलोगे आप? व्हाट वुड यू कॉल टू देम? चाइल्डिशनेस या टू इंटेलिजेंट टू फेल? Can you see? This is called as alabdha bhumikatva. Why I am driving all this? Many a times in between I was going here and there and there and there. The only reason is, did you understood that even in my talk, which was not referring to anything, it was going here, there, everywhere, and your mind is, what is he talking? No, can you see? This is where I want you to understand what alabdha bhumikatva is. It's just like the talks that I was giving till now. मैं इधर की बात कर रहा हूँ, उधर की बात कर रहा हूँ, इधर. But did you saw it is just a talk and we are trapped in it. और धवल जी, सेल्फ ट्रैप पता चल गए तो आप निकल सकते हो, लेकिन आप पता चलने भी नहीं देते. ये आपकी माया है. मैं, you see, at times we only do that. No, it's something that I'll tell you one thing, beautiful one. There was this one person, and he used to collect all the things. Is my voice still there? Are you getting my voice? Okay, so it showed some message. Okay, so there was one person, he would go out and collect everything. Whatever he gets, कूड़ा कचरा जो भी है सब घर में लाके रखता. Whatever people throw away, he will bring it and keep it at their home. People don't need anything, they throw it away. But he will go every day, bring everything and keep it at his home. Not a single thing has anyone seen coming out of his home. उसके घर से एक चीज भी बाहर जाते हुए किसी ने नहीं देखा. बाहर का सारा कचरा लाके घर में. Have you met this person? नहीं, नहीं देखा? पक्का? If you're laughing, why are you laughing then? ये जितने हंस रहे हैं ना, उसी से पता चल जा रहा है ये वही है जो कचरा दुनिया फेंक देती है, आप उसे उठा के ले आते हो। दे थ्रू, दे डोंट वांट इट, एंड यू आर कैप्चरिंग ऑल दैट। मुझे ही बोला होगा, मेरे लिए ही बोला होगा, मैं ही हूं। लेकिन कितने अच्छे हो। नहीं नहीं, मैं तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी में हूं, लोग मुझे जो बोले मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा। एक भी कचरा घर से बाहर नहीं जाता, सारा कचरा घर के अंदर। वो घर है या कचरादानी है, बताओ? इज इट ए होम और इट इज अ प्लेस वेयर यू हैव क्रिएटेड दैट डंपिंग जोन? You don't raise your hand, but at least clean your home. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Krusal. That's exactly what's happening behind you. But the story didn't end there. It's just a reminder. So रोज पूरा का पूरा कचरा लेके आता, घर में डाल देता. You have to collect everything and put it in the house. Okay. One day, one of his friend could not see that. एक दिन उसको हाथ पकड़ के ले जाता है, बोलता तू आ मेरे साथ, यू जस्ट कम अलोंग विद मी एंड यू विल जस्ट टेल मी व्हाट द सीक्रेट, व्हाई आर यू collecting all the dumb things into your house and you are just keeping everything. Why so? Do you have you heard of this that when a person dies he tells the truth? मतलब मरने के समय वो सच ही बोलता है। एक आदमी जब मरता है तो वो सच बोल ही देता है, राइट? ही सेड हाँ हाँ, आई बिलीव दैट। ना, मरता हुआ आदमी झूठ नहीं बोलता। द पर्सन हु इज डाइंग ही विल नेवर टेल ए लाई। कौन? ये आदमी पूछ रहा है अपने दोस्त को, ही इज आस्किंग टू हिज फ्रेंड दैट मरता हुआ आदमी कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता, राइट? वो बोलता हाँ बिल्कुल सही बात है, द डाइंग पर्सन विल नेवर से ए लाई। ना, दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड टू मी। He said, means? No, Deepika ji, just you experienced something a day ago, right? How did you know? When the breath starts stopping, you are not able to breathe. There is something you feel like, oh, I should throw myself out of the body. What's that? That's the feeling. So, similarly, he says a person who is about to die would never tell a lie, and I have learned from him, and that's why I collect everything and put in my home. ये बोला, ये कौन सा सच्चाई है जो मुझे नहीं पता? What's that truth that I have not missed it? Then this person said, one day I was sitting near the river was flooded, and there was an old man who slipped into the river unknowingly, and he was drowning. And by seeing him drowning, I thought like he is going to die anyways. And then he was saying, बचाओ 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 बचाओ. और मैंने सोचा कि मरता हुआ आदमी कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता, इसलिए मैंने बचाना शुरू कर दिया। फिर ट्यूबलाइट जलेंगे थोड़ी देर में, मैंने जो कहा सोचो फिर से मैंने क्या कहा, उसके बाद ट्यूबलाइट जलेंगे। जिनके जल गए वो हंसना शुरू कर रहे हैं, जिनके नहीं जले थोड़ी देर के बाद जलेंगे। मैं फिर से बोलता हूं, बोलता कि मरता हुआ आदमी झूठ नहीं बोलता, राइट? और मैंने देखा कि वो मरने वाला है और वो सिर्फ चिल्ला रहा है बचाओ 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 बचाओ। मुझे लगा वो बचाने के लिए बोल रहा है, बचा लो सब कुछ अपने घर में, सब कुछ बचा के घर में रख लो, सब कुछ बचा के घर में रख लो, जो कुछ है बाहर सब बचा लो, पैसे खर्चे मत करो, सब बचाओ सब बचाओ सब बचाओ। मरता हुआ आदमी झूठ नहीं बोलता। अब ऐसे मरते हुए आदमी की बात अगर सुने होंगे, गलती उस आदमी का नहीं था, वो बोला था बचाओ बचाओ मुझे बचाओ, इसे लगा कि सब कुछ बचाओ। और कितना ज्ञानी महापुरुष होगा, ये सोचा कि मरता हुआ आदमी झूठ नहीं बोलता, ये समझ में नहीं आया कि मर रहा है बचा लू उसे। तो हमने भी कई कहानियां सुनी है कि बचाओ बचाओ और हम सब कुछ बचा के रखे अपने अंदर, जो कुछ जिसने कहा सब बचा लिया अंदर। यू आर लाफिंग एट दैट पर्सन, बट व्हाट आर वी डूइंग टू आवरसेल्व्स? दैट स्पेस इज कॉल्ड एज अलब्ध भूमिकत्व। A space where you pull down all the frustrations and keep it within you. आपको लगता है कि दुनिया भर का प्रॉब्लम का ठेका आपने ही ले रखा है. In saying in English, I don't know, it's just like you have taken the responsibility of the entire world's pain and problem. And if you are that, then you should come out of it, realizing that whatever I bought, it has to break. It will break. Is it the reality or not? Whatever I bought will break today, tomorrow, someday. And if it does not break, I will give it away. मैं उसे दे ही दूंगा. डाउट है? ओके, बचपन में कितने खिलौने खरीदे थे? And you saved it, and you stocked it, and you saved it in that space. Just recently, while Imon's thread ceremony was about to happen, so there was a repair work going on in my home, and my younger brother, he was pulling down all the things, and he brought out certain things, and he sent me the pictures of some toys that I had bought. They are still as is, not a scratch on them. Even the stickers are intact on it. And he says, "Bhai, yaad hai tujhe ye? Ye kab kharida tha tu?" I said, "Might be 30 years ago." It is still pristine. A 25-year-old headphone was recovered and it is still working. And he's using actually now. And he says, "How could you keep things like this?" I said, "I don't know," but he said, "What to do now?" I said, "Give away." And that's exactly what I was saying, Aditi ji. You buy things, either you will break it or you will give it away. शरीर भी वही है, या तो आप इसे तोड़ दोगे या इसे छोड़ दोगे. And that's where the life story begins. How well you preserve it, it has to go. What is the alabdha bhumikatva? The alabdha bhumikatva is not accepting the reality as reality, over expecting out of it. Let's say I send Kushal to the gym and say, "Okay, Kushal, today you have to do 100 kg bench press the first time itself." What will you do? Will you lift the weight or the weight will lift you? It will lift you up. मतलब आप चले ही जाओगे क्योंकि उतना वेट संभाल ही नहीं पाओगे. And that's what I call is as alabdha bhumikatva. Alabdha bhumikatva is another way of looking at it, is that not creating such standards for yourself that even reaching right now would seem impossible. अभी के अभी, हाँ, एक ही चीज के साथ कर सकते हो, भगवान के साथ कर सकते हो, संसार की चीजों के साथ नहीं कर सकते. Worldly things has a time and space to happen, but God is beyond time and space, so it can happen any moment. Seeing your God, experiencing your God is something that I can say, okay, you can expect it right away, and we will do it anyways in the meditation right now. And that meditation today is again a very unique one. I will tell you a story, and that story will convert into a meditation. So be ready for that. Might be a little bit about this. Then, if we perceive ourselves, means हम अगर अपने आप को सही तरीके से देखें, where I am right now, मैं जैसा हूं, with all my good qualities and with all my bad qualities, मेरे सारे अच्छाई और सारे बुराई, beyond that, what am I? Without your looks, without your acquaintances, what are you? Let's say, unfortunately, somebody's hand gets cut. Does he become half? No. That means the body that I look at, the world that I see, are still an illusion that I'm living in. But beyond this illusion, what is the truth? If you keep on reminding yourself, it will keep you grounded. अपने आप को जैसे रोज सुबह उठ के आप अहम ब्रह्मास्मि लिखते हो, and I keep on saying that don't just copy paste it, don't just write it out of it, but for that moment realize that you are that. And what could be a better way of realizing that? Every single morning the first thing that you do is aham brahmasmi, I am that ultimate. You are declaring that every single day. उद्घोष कर रहे हो आप उसका. And when you are declaring that, make sure you become that. Because it will ensure you will become that. And not just mere write up. Write it as if you are declaring for that day to the world, saying that you know who I am? I am that. So that is a declaration that we can go ahead with. The acceptance of your own self. That is a big task for many of us. Accepting myself the way I am. Okay, how many of you have accepted yourself the way you are? हाथ उठाना आसान है, इसके बाद जब मैं प्रश्न पूछूंगा बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा. बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा जब मैं इसके बाद पूछूंगा. The reason is nothing wrong. If you have accepted, that's so beautiful. Because a beauty starts with accepting yourself. That's what I strongly believe in. If I cannot love myself, I cannot expect anyone to love me. Don't you think so? अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो बता दो. एक आदमी है जो रोज गालियां देता है, अपने आप को गालियां देता है, दूसरों को गालियां देता है. आप उसको प्यार करोगे? आप उसके पास भी ना जाओ. You won't go even to near that person. You say he is so frustrated. Why I should love that person? Can you love a frustrated person? You can love a lovable person. That means वही मैं बोल रहा हूं. You cannot be loved until you love yourself. Have we accepted ourselves completely? Now, if you say you have accepted yourself completely, then my simple question would be, tell me how many times you get frustrated with your own self. I'm not talking about others. I'm asking you, in a day, how many times you get frustrated about your own self? And if you are frustrated, if you are angry, then you have not accepted. What does acceptance means? Acceptance means unconditionally whatever you are. And now I'm going to hit the nail. I said until you love yourself, you cannot be loved. Until you have accepted yourself, you cannot be accepted. I don't know whether the God will accept me or not, but I have accepted myself completely. And in my acceptance, the God accepts me completely. Do you accept yourself the way you are? मैं पतला हूं, गोरा हूं, काला हूं, दुबला हूं, नाचता हूं, गाता हूं, आता है, नहीं आता है, कुछ भी, whatever. In whatever way I am, in whatever way I was made. And there was a beautiful statement actually given by someone yesterday. I was talking and they said, yeah, I can accept. But the thing is, what if the creator created me in the most beautiful way, but I have made it ugly? कि रचनाकार ने तो मुझे जब रचा था तो बहुत सुंदर रचा था, लेकिन मैंने अपने कर्मों से अपने आप को दूषित कर दिया. अपने कर्मों से मैंने अपने आप को, I made myself ugly. I said, what a beautiful statement. Then they said, how is it a beautiful statement? I am giving the answer now. It's a beautiful statement because if you realize that you are the one who made it ugly, then you have the possibility to make it right as well. मैंने तोड़ा है तो मैं बना भी सकता हूं. That power we all have. If the creator has created me in the best possible way and somehow I have made it something wrong, what I should do? I should make it beautiful again and give it back to him. अब बोलिए कैसे? ठीक है, आपने किसी से कपड़े उधार लिए, you took the cloth of somebody, and somehow when you are eating something fell, would you give it that way? उसने आपको सुंदर सा कपड़ा दिया था, बहुत पसंदीदा कपड़ा था आपका, he gave it to you, and while you are just eating ice cream or something it fell, would you say ये ले, मेरे गलती है, मेरे वजह से गंदा हो गया, लेकिन तेरे को ऐसा ही लेना पड़ेगा? Is it okay? Anyone would you do like that? But what would you do? You will clean it, iron it, press it, and might be give it back more sparkling. That's what I'm saying. If the God created you in a beautiful way and you still soiled it somehow, clean it. How to do that? That's your sadhana. Cleaning itself takes to do some activity. Your sadhana is your activity. Whether it's the body, it's the mind, or it's me. Whatever way I am, whatever way I was created beautiful. Somehow with the worldly things I have got soiled up. Let me clean it up. यही है आपकी साधना। और जब वापस करो ना, ऐसे करना। कैसे? जैसे मिट्टी था, फूल बन गया। Soil is beautiful in its own way. Flower is beautiful in its own way. But that soil converted itself into a beautiful and aromatic flower. How would you like to give yourself back to the God? भले ही उसने आपको एक बीज बनाया, भले ही आपको उसने मिट्टी बनाया, आप लेकिन मिट्टी लेके नहीं चढ़ाते भगवान के ऊपर, आप पुष्प चढ़ाते हो। उसी से समझ में नहीं आया क्या करना चाहिए? उसी से समझ जाना चाहिए कि मैं पृथ्वी से जरूर निकला हूं, आई एम इन दिस प्लैनेट, आई वॉज क्रिएटेड लाइक ए सॉइल, बट आई विल इन माई साधना आई विल कन्वर्ट माई सेल्फ टू दैट फ्लावर एंड आई विल पुट इट एट द फीट ऑफ द लॉर्ड। कैसा होना चाहिए जीवन आपका? Can you see? Everything is a life lesson that you see every single day. सारे चीजों से कितना कुछ सीखा जा सकता है, लेकिन पहले देखना तो सीखना पड़ेगा। और देख तभी सकते हो जब देखना बंद कर दो। क्या देखना बंद कर दो? जो नहीं है। हम हमेशा उस चीज को देखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो नहीं है, लेकिन जो सामने है उसे देख नहीं पाते। हम उस भगवान के पीछे पड़े हुए हैं जो दिखाई नहीं देता, लेकिन वही हमारे सामने मिट्टी से फूल बन जाता है, उसे देख नहीं पाते। हम उस भगवान को देखने की कोशिश करते हैं जो दिखाई नहीं देता, लेकिन वो बादल बन के रोज मेरे सामने से गुजर जाता है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। मैं उस भगवान को देखना चाहता हूं जो दिखाई नहीं देता, लेकिन मेरे सामने एक छोटे से बच्चे की किलकारी बन के नाच उठता है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। मैं ढूंढ रहा हूं उस भगवान को जो मुझे दिखाई नहीं देता, लेकिन मेरे घर में वो एक बच्चा बन के आके अपनी सेवा मुझसे करवा रहा है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। कभी वो मेरे सामने भिखारी बनाता है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। कभी वो मेरे सामने राजा बनाता है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। कभी वो मेरे सामने मूर्ति बन के खड़ा हो जाता है, मैं उसे देख नहीं पाता। कभी वो मैं बन के मिरर में दिख जाता है, मैं देख नहीं पाता। मैं इसीलिए कहता हूं, जिस दिन देखना बंद कर दोगे उस दिन दिख जाएगा। कैसे? स्टॉप डिफरेंशिएटिंग दैट यू आर सेपरेट फ्रॉम इट। मिट्टी से पुष्प, मिट्टी से फल अलग दिख सकता है, टेस्ट में, अपीयरेंसेस में। इट माइट बी डिफरेंट, बट इट सोर्स इज द सॉइल, इज द सीड। आई माइट लुक वॉट एवर वे आई एम, बट वॉट एम आई? क्योंकि वापस गिरूंगा फिर मिट्टी बन जाऊंगा। इफ आई फॉल आई विल बिकम दैट अगेन। But can you see, the fruit does not fall its own until it's ripe. That's nature. नेचर क्या सिखाता है? तब तक मत गिरना जब तक मीठे नहीं हो जाते। What does that indicate? That in my life, I will hang on to the name of the God. I will hang on to my sadhana until I become so beautiful, until I become so sweet that it's time to fall back to my source. And can you see, has the source left you? No, it's always carrying you. It's always holding you. It's always nourishing you. And you are growing through it, but seeing as if you are different from where you came from. आप जहां से आए, आप उसके साथ कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाते, लेकिन वो हमेशा कनेक्टेड है. विदाउट द सॉइल कैन यू ग्रो? That's the nourishment that's coming from. Where is your nourishment coming from is my question. And now, even you are a sour fruit. Any sour fruits in the room? खट्टे फल कोई है रूम में? खट्टा फल अगर फिर भी पेड़ पे लटका रहे, वो मीठा हो ही जाएगा. फिर आप ये कह सकते हो कि नीम का पेड़ कैसे? Then I will ask, have you ever tasted the fruit of neem? वो मीठा होता है. मेरे घर में था और मैंने खाया है बहुत बार. उसे खाना नहीं चाहिए, बट आई यूज टू. बचपन में सब कांड कर दिए हमने. सिर्फ कर्म नहीं किए, कांड भी किए हैं. और ये सब कांड है. सब मना करते उसको नहीं खाना, और मैं उसको उठा के देखता क्या है, मीठा लगा. कनियर का फूल, उसका जो फल होता है वो जहर होता है, जानते हो ना. शिव के ऊपर चढ़ाते हैं कैसे भी. बट हैव यू एवर ट्राइड टू ब्रेक द फ्लावर एंड जस्ट स्क्वीज इट? उसके पीछे थोड़ा सा रस निकलता है, उसको स्क्वीज करना. इट इज सो स्वीट, यू वोंट इवन बिलीव. एंड आई यूज्ड टू गो. रोज सुबह का मेरा काम था फूल तोड़ना. मैं बोला ये काम भी मेरा ही है. I have a certain amount of flower that I collect. After that, see, I am not all saint, you know. I have done all this, but all these activities of mine has taught me so beautiful lessons. It says, at the fag end of poison lies the elixir of life. At the fag end of, for a idiot, it will never know it. But for a realized being, it will realize it. What is the fag end of poison? Fag end of the poison is death. But at the moment of death, if you awaken, you will realize that death will never happen to you. It happened to the body. And that's where I said, that's where you will realize that you are absolutely beyond the threshold breaking at that time. I also saw the same thing, that at the fag end of that flower, which is called as it is poisonous, there lies the beautiful honey in it. नहीं होता तो बटरफ्लाई जाके कैसे बैठ जाता उसके ऊपर. That's what I say. The fag end. And at the fag end of your life, at the fag end of your problems, जहां पे लगे कि इससे बुरा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, एक बार रुकना और देखना कि उसके परे कुछ है. There is something beyond. Might be this is your test. Might be this is where he wants you to be grounded. Might be this is the place where you are being tested for your faith and belief. But as I said, how do you know? Something bad must have happened. उससे भी बुरा हो सकता था. So that was the story of Alabdha Bhumikatva. But are you getting the essence of what I want to transfer to you? It's about completely accepting the way you are, but don't become lazy by accepting your completely. What did I mean by that? The meaning of it is, when you get the question within yourself that I should do this, कि मुझे ये साधना करनी चाहिए, मैं आज नहीं कर पाया, don't get frustrated. That very moment you can fold your hands, because आप मुझे ये नहीं कह सकते कि मेरे पास समय नहीं है. Then where do you get the time to get frustrated then? अगर frustration के लिए समय है तो साधना के लिए भी समय होना चाहिए. I know you cannot sit, you have to go somewhere, but in that moment, rather than getting frustrated in that moment, can you fold your hands? In that moment, can you chant the name within? You just say this, आज मैं पूरा पूजा नहीं कर पाया, लेकिन थोड़ी सी पूजा अंदर कर लेता हूं। पूरा जाप नहीं कर पाया, लेकिन 2 बार नाम ले लेता हूं। व्हाट डू यू थिंक? वोंट इट सफाइस? Like some time ago, I told you a story that there was a person, and he didn't have much of a money, and so he was doing the puja, and somebody said, okay, he always used to cry, and that pujari always used to ask, like, why are you crying? Like, he said, भगवान को इतने प्रसाद चढ़ते, इतने भोग चढ़ते, मैं कुछ नहीं चढ़ा सकता, आई कैन नॉट गिव एनीथिंग, व्हाट शुड आई डू? ही सेड, बाहर नहीं दे सकता, अंदर तो दे ही सकता है ना। यू कैन नॉट गिव इट आउटसाइड, बट विद इन यू कैन, राइट? Can you see how beautifully the design has been created for you, that on within you can create anything without any money? अंदर कुछ भी बनाने के लिए आपको ना कोई सामग्री की जरूरत होती है, ना पैसे का, ना बल का, ना धन का, ना वृद्धि का, ना बुद्धि का, किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है। जो कुछ आप अंदर बनाना चाहो आप बना सकते हो, लेकिन हम बना क्या रहे हैं, ये क्वेश्चन है। इन द सेम मोमेंट, if I am frustrated, can I convert that into love for the divine? बिल्कुल कर सकते हो। Just a moment of realization is needed. अरे, why am I wasting this? Why can't I take the name? अगर वहां नहीं ले पाया, अब तो ले लो। It's just like, oh, I was not able to call that person. I am so frustrated, I did not call. Let me call now. और आपको याद है, like that person used to, like, anything you can create within us. So why don't you just close your eyes in your imagination? Why don't you feed your God? Whatever you want to feed. And then every day he started saying, oh ho, 56 नहीं 108 तरीके का भोग लगाऊं मैं। लगाओ। Who takes money from you in that space? रोज बैठता, रोज पूजा करता, every day used to sit and just close his eyes and say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, so I'm putting that, putting that, putting that. Every day it became a continuous practice for him. One day, in his thoughts, he was creating kheer. खीर में थोड़ा ज्यादा घी गिर गया। A little bit of more ghee went into the kheer. उसे वो ज्यादा गिर गया, ज्यादा गिरा, he was taking it out. That very moment, the God hold his hand and say, अरे सोचने में भी कंजूसी कर रहा है, छोड़ दे वो घी को। Leave that. Even in that space you are holding, you are thinking ज्यादा घी गिर गया, कम गिर गया। So that's what I say. In our lives, every situation comes. There is a beautiful saying in that, हिंदी में भी इंग्लिश में भी उसको बहुत बार रिपीट कर चुके हैं लोग। इसे ये मत, तुम्हारे तकलीफों को ये मत कहो कि तुम्हारा भगवान कितना छोटा है। नहीं नहीं, सॉरी, इट इज सेड, तुम्हारे भगवान को ये मत कहो कि तुम्हारी तकलीफें कितनी बड़ी हैं, तुम्हारे तकलीफों को दिखा दो कि तुम्हारा भगवान कितना बड़ा है। तो दैट्स वेयर आई से दैट इन एवरी मोमेंट ऑफ माई लाइफ, आप मुझे ये पूछते थे ना आभा जी कि क्या मृत्यु के समय में उसका नाम ले सकता हूं? अगर तकलीफ के समय आप नाम ले सकते हो तो वही हैबिट रहेगा, और आप मृत्यु के समय भी वही नाम लोगे। और every moment when you are actually feeling the problem, where are you focusing? You say like wherever you focus it grows. आप जिस चीज के ऊपर ध्यान दोगे वो बढ़ जाएगा। देखो, आपके अंदर शरीर बिल्कुल स्वस्थ रहेगा। आप एक बार सोचो, अरे आज नाक थोड़ा जल रहा है, आप देखे ना 1-2 दिन के अंदर आपको सर्दी जरूर हो जाएगी। Why? That's how the mind and body works together. That means my thoughts are actually like contributing something to this body. So if my thought changes to God, जब कोई प्रॉब्लम आया, I will look at it with awe. अरे वाह, ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या? कभी सोचा नहीं था। वाह, क्या लीला है। And in that space, do you think you will leave that part? No, you will get a solution in that. आपको उससे मार्ग मिलने लगेगा. Even the greatest of the scientists, they said the mind that created the problem cannot solve it. You need a changed mind. आप अपने जिस बुद्धि से तकलीफ को बनाए हो, उस बुद्धि से तकलीफ से नहीं निकल सकते. बुद्धि को बदलना पड़ेगा. बुद्धि को बदलने के लिए क्षुद्रतम से बृहत बनना पड़ेगा. मनुष्य से भगवान बनना पड़ेगा. इन दैट मोमेंट स्टॉप फीलिंग अ विक्टिम एज ए ह्यूमन. सी द डिवाइन इंटरवेंशन. कि तो क्या सिखाने दिया है आज मुझे? व्हाट इज दिस आई एम गोइंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम दिस? जस्ट टीच मी. आई एम रेडी टू लर्न. It won't be easy. But crying is easy. Getting worried is easy. Getting frustrated is easy. No, no. Again, Saujanya ji, it is said, science says it takes less muscles of your face to smile and more muscle stress to make you cry. अगर आपको दुखी होना या रोना है या अपने आप को अकड़ के बैठना है, you will need more force of the muscles. But to smile, it takes less. But people are busy taking more. उन्होंने भी सुना होगा, बचाओ बचाओ. And that's where we say, have you understood that this space that you think yourself to be, that you are stuck, you are not good enough, you are not doing the right thing, things are not working. Why is it so? My dear friends, remember, this is the place which is actually trying to shake you up. But are you going to fall or you are going to fly? ये कहते हैं ना कि the bird is not sitting on the branch with the faith on the branch, but the bird is sitting on the branch because it has the faith that it can fly. अगर डाली टूटा भी वो उड़ जाएगा. आप क्या करते हो? अगर संसार छूटा भी तो संसार के साथ डूबोगे या संसार छूटा तो भी उड़ जाओगे? How is your preparation? That's the preparation. And this space, allow the bhumikatva. Never ever. जैसे मैंने कहा ना, every step of yours can become a prayer. Every pain can convert into prayer. Every action can be converted into prayer. And before I accept my God, let me accept myself completely. And you see, for a moment, you close your eyes and just for a moment, अगर जीवन में कभी भी नहीं किया, एक क्षण के लिए ही सही. I know, like that very next moment you can have all the problems for you. You can tell 1,000 things about your own self. But for one moment, leaving aside all that is happening, just become you for a moment. और आपके अंदर से वो आवाज आनी चाहिए कि I accept myself completely the way I am. And in that moment, if you are true to yourself, you will realize that all the pain that is there in your body disappears. I can assure you one thing, if you accept yourself completely, no pain can exist because you are far beyond it. कोशिश करके देख लेना. And anybody who is having pain right now, just repeat this statement after me. I accept my pain. I accept. One more time. One more time. Now just take a simple breath in and out. Leave it out through a sound. through your mouth, and just now look at your pain. Did you realize that you have distanced yourself from the pain itself? And just like that, if you have a pain in your belly, can I feel it? If you have a pain in your head, can I feel it? No, na? Why? Because I'm not you. And the moment you are able to see the pain far away, that means you are not that. Then how can you have a headache? How can you have that pain? आप बोलो ये कैसे हो सकता है? मेरा प्रैक्टिस करके देखो, यही होगा. You will never suffer again. Pain will be there because you are connected to it somehow. Have you seen a dead body having pain? No, right? Then you should remember what I have already said. Who is that who is carrying this corpse every day on its shoulder? वो कौन है जो इस लाश को वो रोज अपने कंधे पे लेके घूमता है, क्योंकि जिस दिन ये निकल गया ये लाश वहीं गिर जाएगा. That means you are nowhere that body. You are the carrier of the body. For a moment, close your eyes. For all these years you have been carrying this. I'm going to create a very typical situation right now, but don't open your eyes. For all these years, you have been carrying this body on your shoulder, although you don't have one. But let's assume, just to imagine in that process, let's say you have been carrying this body for years now. 20 साल, 25 साल, 50 साल, 60 साल, 70 साल, 80 साल. You have been carrying this body on your shoulder. Walking through, carrying the weight of the body. उस शरीर का भार लेके चल रहे हो. अभी आपको याद होगा कोई और भी एक बार शरीर को उठा के घुमा था. There was someone who also carried a body. No, it was not Vikram and Betal. It was Shiva and Sati. Now Shiva, for ages, he was holding the burnt body of Sati and was roaming around in madness. क्यों? क्योंकि सती जल गई थी और शिव उसे लेके पागलों की तरह घूम रहा था, मानो शिव शव बन गया हो. What if you are that Shiva and you are carrying this burnt body all these ages? You have become that now. For a moment. Just for a moment. Keep the body down. Don't ask how. Just keep the body down. You can imagine yourself as a white body carrying the white light or something, and that is carrying the body, and you are sitting near a tree. Now you sit down and put the body down. उस शरीर को नीचे रख दो. Keep it down. Drop your shoulders because now the body is not there. Drop the shoulder, just relax. Easy breathing. Remove all the stress, all the weights of the body. You are free of it. Look at your own body as if Shiva is looking at the body of Sati. But now Shiva is all realized. It is looking at it and he says, oh, it's just the body. All the stress, all the strain, all the problem, all the possibilities, all the attachments, everything is all related to that body. And you are getting free of that. Leave it. Imagine walking around without the body. Do whatever you want to do, but without the body. You want to hang around the branches like a ghost. You want to fly. You want to roam. Whatever you want to do. Take a slow, deep breath. Put on the body again. शरीर में आ जाओ फिर. Open your eyes. Now tell me, how is your body? What is the weight of your body? क्या अभी भी वो उतना ही भारी लग रहा है जितना भारी पहले लग रहा था? Is it still having that kind of weight that it used to feel just 2 minutes ago? Yeah, how many of you got relaxed absolutely right now in this moment? That body seems something else now. So how many of you the breathing has become very normal? There would be very few mad people. How many of you want to dance? ये पागलपन की हद होते हैं. इनको हर चीज में नाचना है. लेकिन अच्छा है. ये आधा पागल होके क्या क्या फायदा? होना है तो पूरा पागल हो जाना. If you thought that was the feeling like floating, float. उसने कहा ना कि if you are digging the hole, become the digging. If you are asking the question, become the asking. If you are saying the answer, become the answer. If you are going, become the going. If you are floating, become the floating. If you are happy, become the happiness. If you are thinking about God, become the God. Can you see what appears as a so typical thing can be overcome with so much of ease? जितना बड़ा तकलीफ उतने आसानी से निकला जा सकता है. लेकिन हम तकलीफ को इतना बड़ा कर देते हैं कि निकल ही नहीं पाते. इसलिए तकलीफों को छोटा करना सीखो, अपने आप को बृहद बना दो, हंसना सीखो, रोना नहीं। रोना तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आता है पैदा होते ही, हंसना सीखो। और विजय जी, याद है ना हमने कहा था कि तुम क्यों भला रो रहे हो अपने ऊपर, रुलाने के लिए लोग हैं ना। तुम क्यों परेशान कर रहे हो अपने आप को इतना, तुमको परेशान करने के लिए लोग हैं ना। तुम क्यों इतने पागल बनते जा रहे हो, तुमको पागल करने के लिए लोग हैं ना। तुम क्यों इतने दुखी होते चले जा रहे हो, तुम्हें दुखी करने के लिए लोग हैं ना। और इन सब चीजों से बचने के लिए क्यों इतना प्रयास करते हो, तुम्हें बचाने के लिए तुम्हारा भगवान है ना। कभी कभी तो मुझे लगता है भगवान ने आप हमें नहीं, हमने उसको छोड़ दिया है, इसलिए इतने प्रॉब्लम में। सो वॉट एवर, दैट वॉज अलब्ध भूमिकत्व, एंड दैट इज हाउ यू कम आउट ऑफ इट। And the most beautiful thing that has happened right now, in this moment, you cannot complain about yourself. Tell me one complaint. I am thin, I am fat, I am this, I am that. और वो दिखाई दे रहा है आपके हंसी से, by looking at your face, the glow that you have. That itself shows that अंदर नर्क नहीं स्वर्ग चल रहा है। कोई एक मूवी था ना विजय जी, स्वर्ग से सुंदर, राइट। हाँ, देयर वाज अ मूवी स्वर्ग से सुंदर। सो दैट्स व्हाट दैट मूवी माइट बी रनिंग इनसाइड यू, लाइक स्वर्ग से सुंदर जगह। नॉट द मूवी, माइट बी द वर्डिंग्स ऑफ इट, लाइक स्वर्ग से सुंदर। एंड देन यू सिट डाउन एंड यू थिंक, फिर इतने दिन कहाँ भटक रहा था, मैं भी वही पूछ रहा हूँ। आई एम आस्किंग द सेम थिंग, व्हेन दिस ब्यूटीफुल स्पेस, डिड वी ब्रॉट इट, कहीं से खरीद के लेके आए उसको, किसी से उधार लिए हो, नहीं ना। तो कहां पे है, इट्स ऑलरेडी देयर विद इन यू। एंड इफ इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर विद इन यू, क्या ढूंढ रहे हो तुम, व्हाट आर यू सर्चिंग। देन माई आंसर कम्स, यू आर जस्ट सर्चिंग ए वे टू सी योर सेल्फ, यू आर जस्ट सर्चिंग ए मिरर। और जैसे मैंने कहा था कि ना, नारायण अपने आप को नहीं देखते, नारायण डज नॉट सी हिमसेल्फ, बिकॉज द मोमेंट ही सी हिमसेल्फ, वो अपने आप से सम्मोहित हो जाते हैं। By looking at himself, he was, oh my, what a beauty. And that's what happens to you. You just need a clean mirror. We are not doing anything else, but we are just bringing a clean mirror in front. और आप अपने आप को देख के खुश हो जाते हो। और नारायण अपने आप को देख के विस्मित हो जाते हो, और आप अपने आप को देख के विस्मित हो जाते हो, तो आप कौन हो। बट हाउ कैन आई बी दैट, ओके। आम का सीजन चल रहा है, एक आम खा के देखो उसका टेस्ट, दूसरा आम खा के देखो दूसरा आम का टेस्ट, लेकिन आम का टेस्ट ही होता है। अलग अलग दुकानों से लाओ, अलग अलग जगह से लाओ, आप खा के बोल दोगे ये आम ही है, इट इज मैंगो। इफ यू ईट दैट, यू विल नो दैट, बाय जस्ट टेस्टिंग इट, यू विल से दिस मैंगो। इट डज नॉट मैटर इफ दिस इज वन और टू और थ्री, और दिस शॉप और दैट शॉप। क्यों, बिकॉज क्वालिटीज आर सेम। सच बताना, एनी वन ऑफ यू, we have complained about ourselves so many times, but has it happened any time that you one day you saw yourself and you fall in love with it? I'm asking, हुआ है क्या किसी के साथ। उषा जी मत बोलो, तुम रोज वही करते रहते हो, छोड़ो, दूसरे बताओ। इफ यू लर्न दैट आर्ट एवरी सिंगल डे, जैसे पूजा वूजा जब कर लेते हो ना, मिरर के सामने आके जब सजते सजते हो ना, तब 1 मिनट अपने आप को बोल देना, हाय हाय, ना सुंदर है। फिर देखना मैजिक। तो फिर को बोले कैसे बोलूं, दिखाई नहीं देता वैसा। बोला हमारी आंखों से देख लो, उन्हें भगवान की आंखों से देख लो, किसी और के आंखों से देख लो, कम से कम किसी की आंखों में तो सुंदर होंगे तुम। जब देखो, और अगर आपके चेहरे में सुंदरता नहीं दिख रही तो अपने चेहरे में उसको देख लेना, और अगर उसको देख लिया तो सुंदरता अपने आप उतर जाएगी। डाउनलोडिंग ब्यूटी, और ब्यूटी 2.0 डाउनलोडेड। नो थ्रेड्स फाउंड, ओनली ब्यूटी। क्यों हंस रहे हो इतना जोर से तुम लोग? बड़े मजे लग रहे हैं नहीं? हाँ, दैट्स व्हाट आई से। You are talking about the beauty of the world because you have never experienced your own beauty. You are searching for the happiness of the world because you have never experienced your happiness. You are always searching for the divine because you have never realized the divinity that you are. Can you see all that you are searching? You are far more beyond than that, which you can ever get outside. आप बाहर से कुछ भी लेके आ जाओ, nothing is comparable to you. अब फिर सोचो कितना प्यार से बनाया गया होगा. With how much love you must have been created that you have all the beauty within you. And you have a servant, right? The mind. Give it a duty to keep the beauty intact. कि ये मन तेरा कर्म अब से बस इतना ही है कि तू मुझे सुंदर दिखाता रहे. तो बोले जब बुरा करो ना तब भी दिखा देना. You just don't put me into that space. Just keep me showing what I am. And yes, at times you have to change based on the actions that you have to take. कृष्ण कभी सिर्फ बांसुरी नहीं बजाए, कृष्ण कभी नाचे भी हैं, कृष्ण कभी रथ पे भी चढ़े हैं, कृष्ण कभी युद्ध भी किए हैं, और कृष्ण कभी भागे भी हैं. What are all those indications? The indications are that. और आप जो कहते हो ना कभी कभी कि I see that like many people sometimes they say, especially जब कॉलेज जाता, सर लुक एट मी, आई एम नॉट दैट ब्यूटीफुल. आई सेड इसका मतलब तूने सारे भगवान की तस्वीरें नहीं देखी. If you really look at Hanuman and look at you, if you look at Ganesh and look at you, let's say you are not happy, let me change your head with an elephant head. Will you be happy? हेलो. तो जिस दिन तुमको अपना चेहरा पसंद नहीं आता उसको निकाल के कुछ और लगा देते हैं, और बेटर देन दैट. जैसे शिव ने प्रजापति के सर काट के उसके ऊपर बकरी का सर लगा दिया, तुम्हारा चलेगा? No, no, we will do a beauty contest with the bakris, and whoever wins that head I will put on your head. You are happy with it? No, right? So when these people come and tell me that we're not that good enough, then very moment I say, you have not explored it. और वैसे भी कृष्ण को देखा है, पूरा टेढ़ा खड़ा होता है, अष्टभंग, 8 तरीके के भंगी लेके खड़ा होता है वो. आप बोल सकते हो कि कृष्ण सुंदर नहीं है? फिर अंधे होंगे आप. अंधे को भी कृष्ण सुंदर दिखता है. वो 8 भंगों से खड़ा है फिर भी सुंदर दिखता है. आप तो कम से कम सीधे खड़े हो, कुछ तो सुंदरता होगी आप में. ढूंढ लो. search for that. All these years I was busy finding faults. From this moment I search my beauty. क्या साधना है? यही साधना है. मैंने आज अपने फ्लॉज का तिरस्कार कर दिया. I give away all my flaws, and all that I accept is the truth that I am, not even the beauty of the body, क्योंकि वो भी बदल जाएगा. That will also change. But the acceptance of my truth, just like you, कभी भी जब भी मौका मिले ना, when you feel like okay, it's too much of stress, too much of worry, that very moment remember the same process. Just see like you are just a white being on which shoulder the body is there. आप अपने कंधे पे वो शरीर को लेके घूम रहे हो, अपने परेशानियों को लेके घूम रहे हो, अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को लेके घूम रहे हो. That very moment find a place, sit down, put your body down and roam around free. Just for a minute. Come back, wear the body, and then you will see the magic is you will never be that stressed again. अब बोलिए पागलपंती नहीं है. मैं बोला ठीक है तो दुखी रहो, then be in stress. I don't have any problem with that. It's your choice. That's it. And remember, if you are a soil, become that fruit, become that flower. And the last point that is there is Anavasiti Tattva. Instability arises when one experiences fluctuations or setbacks in their practice. It is also again covered in that whatever I was talking. मैं जो जो बता रहा था वो दोनों चीजों को कवर किया था, because I wanted to end it with a meditation. I'll just tell a little bit about it. So it is like just like this. The instability that will happen within myself, or it's just like an experience of fluctuation that is continuously happening in my sadhana. The setbacks that I see in my practices, it leads to feeling uncomfortable, uncertainty and regression in the sense also. Means मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैं शायद उस रास्ते पे सही चल पा रहा हूं. But if you are not focused on that particular thing, it is just like falling quickly. अगर आप ये चीजों को भूल जाओगे कि आप किस लिए ये मार्ग को चुने थे, कौन आपके साथ चल रहा है, you will slowly fall back. Never fall back. Always remember what are being taught to you. These are not mantras, these are ways of living life. And then always distinguish which items are significant to you and which are not. कौन सा चीज आपके लिए जरूरी है और कौन सा नहीं. What is more important? Is your God more important? Is you more important? Or the world? Or your problems? क्योंकि जब तक जिंदा हो तब तक तकलीफें हैं. That's what Gautam Buddha said. Life is nothing but all sorrow. I said, life is everything. But as if, क्योंकि आप जब तक शरीर में हो भूख लगेगा नहीं लगेगा. Let's say you don't have any other problem, but hunger. But is hunger a problem? Yes or no? कुछ तो बोलो. आभा जी कुछ तो लिखो. हंगर प्रॉब्लम है नहीं है? यस, प्रॉब्लम है. अगर हंगर प्रॉब्लम है, देखो आदित्य जी के लिए हंगर प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ब्यूटीफुल. Why hunger is a problem and why hunger is not a problem? Hunger is a problem because I have to feed it again and again and again. Hunger is not a problem because that gives me a space to taste different things. भूख लगता है इसीलिए तो मैं अलग अलग चीजें खा सकता हूं, अलग अलग टेस्ट ले सकता हूं. अगर भूख ही बंद हो गया तो टेस्ट कहां से आएगा? Can you see, even everything that is a problem has a beauty to its end. Okay, then a tail star, tail of the star means a falling star also leaves a trail of light. Similarly, अगर भूख लगेगा नहीं तो आप इतने अच्छे अच्छे घर में खाना बना के हमको बुलाते हो, खाएंगे कैसे हम? बोले भूख ही नहीं है, नहीं ये टेस्ट कर लो। भूख ही नहीं तो टेस्ट कैसे करोगे आप? सो इज इट गुड और नॉट? अगेन इट्स अ गुड स्पेस टू बी। नाउ फाइनली, वट एवर ऑब्स्टेकल, डिसकंटिन्यूटी, जो कुछ भी आता है, द रेमेडी टू दैट इज ऑलवेज बीइंग इन द right, in connected with the right kind of people, अच्छे लोगों के साथ, जो कि the people those who fill your soul to its depth, आपके हृदय को, आपकी आत्मा को जो तृप्त कर दे, वैसा संगत रहना चाहिए। आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट पीपल दोज हु विल से आप बहुत अच्छे हो, नहीं, वो बटर वाला बात नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं। आई एम सेइंग अबाउट द पीपल दोज हु फिल योर सोल, नॉट योर ईगो। ये ईगो वाला बटर वही होता है ना, द सेम नाइफ दैट पुट्स द बटर कट्स द ब्रेड एज वेल। जो मक्खन लगाएगा जो चाकू, वही चाकू उसे काटेगा। लोग आपको मक्खन लगा रहे हैं, इसका मतलब आपसे कुछ काम है, काटना चाहते हैं आपसे कुछ वो, they want something from you. But the people those who are able to make you feel like, oh wow, and they're doing it not just because they want something out of it, but their presence itself makes you filled to the brim of your soul. And the moment you are filled to the brim of your soul, you know what happens next? It overflows. बकेट भर जाने के बाद क्या होता है? पानी बाहर गिरने लगता है ना? And that should happen to you. Now then, in your presence, everybody should feel blissful. You are so beautiful that by looking at you, the beauty arises in the heart of others. A flower is not just beautiful. In its presence, the beauty appears in the heart of the seer as well. देखने वाले के अंदर सुंदरता आ जानी चाहिए। जैसे एक पुष्प को देख के देखने वाले के अंदर सुगंध फैल जाता है, खुशबू आ जाती है और सुंदरता उसके अंदर चलने लगती है, आप भी वैसे बन जाना चाहिए कि कोई भी आपको देखे, उसके अंदर भी वही चलने लगे। दैट इज ट्रू ब्यूटी। मेक सेंस? समझ में आ रहा है? एंड दैट्स हाउ यू शुड बिकम। So cultivating resilience, adaptability, inner strength, embracing challenges, opportunities for growth, these are all like motivating words. But that, if you bring to a complete core of it, it's about finding peace and solace not outside but within. If you can do that, you will be free of the 9 Antaryas. Finally. But you know, actually हमने कट शॉर्ट कर दिया इसे, because these 9 have again side effects like dukkha, dormanasya, then angamejayatva, then swasa praswasa, उसके और साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं बहुत। बट माइट बी वी विल कंटिन्यू इट आफ्टर सम डेज, नहीं तो लोग बोलेंगे ये एक ही बात कर रहे हैं। सो फाइनली व्हेन वी आर डन विद दिस पार्ट, डू यू हैव सम मोर टाइम फॉर द मेडिटेशन? जो ऐसे बैठ के बोलते हैं ना, तो समझ में आ जाता है, बड़े खुश हैं लोग। But before that, let's create that space. This is something that is very difficult to comprehend actually, जो मैं अभी बोलने जा रहा हूं. But let's try. Okay. Why I say it is difficult to comprehend is we are going to bring two gods together, which are the form of the same one, in two different dimensions. मैं उसको सरलता से बताता हूं. राम और कृष्ण. राम एक युग के हैं, कृष्ण एक युग के हैं. युग अलग है, राइट? अब कैन दे बोथ कम टुगेदर एज ए चाइल्ड? बिल्कुल आ सकते. कैसे? अलग अलग ब्रह्मांड के अलग अलग समय. कहीं पे द्वापर चल रहा है, कहीं पे त्रेता चल रहा है, कहीं पे सत्ययुग चल रहा है, कहीं पे कली. And we are in the Kali Yuga, what we say. So we are in that planet where the Kali Yuga time is going on. But there are realms which are beyond time and space. And in that space, there are still small little Krishnas and still small little Ramas. Now, this is a very typical thing. That's what I say. Comprehending would be difficult, but the experience is going to be magnanimous. Are you ready to experience that? That's what I'm saying. How about bringing small little Shiva into play as well? Is that the icing on the cake? Okay. So what we will do is, we will start the Leela. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm going to tell a story. I'm saying we are going to do a Leela right now. And you people will the active participants. And not only you will be the active participants, you will actually become the plot itself. कैसे होगा? I don't know. Do you know? No, even you don't know. But let's do the Leela, let's play the game and see what the outcome comes out. Because here, bringing all those elements, small little Krishnas, small little Ramas, and small little Shivas together. And when we bring all this together, and then we create the plot, you will see, आज तक भगवान लीला कर रहे थे ना, आज आप करोगे. And what all you experience, do share. It might be one-liner, it might be two-liner, but what you experience in that place is something that should be incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. That's what I'm saying. अब सोचो, मैं पहले प्लॉट बना देता हूं, I'm giving you a story. मैं पूरा ड्रामा दिखा देता हूं, उसके बाद मेडिटेशन करेंगे. So once it such happens that two different realms, in one realm there is small little Rama, and in the other realm there is small little Krishna. And then, because there are divine beings, Yashoda and Kaushalya, what they think, they are thinking to meet each other. बहुत दिन हो गए एक दूसरे से नहीं मिले. They have not met each other for a long time. So they thought like, let me go. As you people used to do when your kids were small, you used to take to your neighbor's house. They used to come to your house where kids used to play. Same thing both these mother decided. कौन कौन? Kaushalya, Yashoda. Same thought came to both of them. अब दोनों को एक ही विचार आ रहा है, मतलब विचार देने वाला कौन है, सोच लेना चाहिए. If both are having the same kind of thought, that means there is someone who is putting the seed. Now both decided that okay, today we should visit his. अब राम को लेके कौशल्या अपने गोद में लेके आ रही है, इधर से यशोदा कृष्ण को लेके. Both are coming together. Where is it happening? In your head. अब बोले मेरे हेड में, हाँ नहीं, आपके हेड में प्रॉब्लम आ सकते हैं और कृष्ण और राम नहीं आ सकते क्या? So the plot will be played in the place called as your head. Ingredients required is your imagination. Experience that you will gain will be truth. Because experience cannot be denied. So how would you like to do it? You want to listen to the entire story with open eyes, or you want to close your eyes and listen to the entire story and experience it simultaneously. Although if you open your eyes also, it will happen anyways, क्योंकि अब जो मैं बोलने जा रहा हूं वो होगा ही होगा. Then we will drop extra one, bring the little Shiva also into the play at the end. वो खाली ड्रामा करने आएंगे बीच में, स्पेशल गेस्ट अपीयरेंसेस. Okay, all ready? So it's up to you. You want to see the Leela with your open eyes, or you want to see the Leela within you. जैसा आपको मानो. अब से मैं कहानी बोलता हूं. सो वहां से कृष्ण चले यशोदा के साथ और राम चले कौशल्या के साथ. एंड बोथ मेट इन बिटवीन. वो अपने लोक से निकल के आए. शी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम देयर लोक, दैट रेल्म. शी स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम देयर रेल्म. एंड बोथ मेट इन बिटवीन. मानो आप अपने घर के बच्चे को लेके जा रहे हो और कोई अपने बच्चे को आपके घर लेके आ रहा है. नाउ यू चूज व्हाट यू वांट टू कैरी. वेदर यू आर यशोदा और यू आर कौशल्या, डिपेंड्स ऑन यू. आप किसको लेके जा रहे हो वो आपके ऊपर है. लेकिन यहां पे मुझे पलड़ा भारी कृष्ण का क्यों दिख रहा है? I see like the weight of Krishna is becoming more because many people are carrying him. अरे राम को भी ले जाओ. चलो कोई नहीं लिया तो हम ही ले चलते. Now the beauty, now you have to see the thing happening in front of you. Both are standing in front each other. दोनों आके एक ऐसे स्थान पे हैं जहां पे राम को लेके कौशल्या और कृष्ण को लेके यशोदा खड़े हैं. The beauty is Ram exactly looks like Krishna and Krishna exactly looks like Ram. Here the drama begins. Both are absolutely look-alike. And they are so look-alike that you cannot distinguish whether it looks like perfect identical twins. और इतने आइडेंटिकल हैं कि आप उनमें भेद नहीं कर पाओगे. यू कैनॉट डिफरेंशिएट, डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन देम. ओके. द ओनली डिफरेंस वुड बी राम शांत है, कृष्ण नटखट है. दिस इज द ओनली डिफरेंस. बाय लुक्स यू कैनॉट मेक एनी डिफरेंस. राम को देखोगे तो उनके आंखों में, इन हिज आईज देयर इज स्टेबिलिटी, देयर इज स्टैंस, देयर इज like something has stopped. And Krishna's eyes never stop. It always rotates here, there, everywhere. एक जगह शांत होकर बैठता ही नहीं है. मतलब उसकी आंखें इधर उधर भटकती ही रहती है. Then finally they decided that let's go to Krishna's place. वहीं लेके जाते हैं, वहीं खेलते हैं आज. तो यशोदा and Kaushalya starts walking back to Golok. And वहां पे भी इट्स लाइक ब्रज भूमि का रज है वहां पे. So they leave both the kids that you both play here. We are just around. We are preparing for the food. And in this, you see, Ram is carrying a small little bow in his hand. राम अपने हाथ में एक धनुष लिए हुए हैं. छोटा सा धनुष है, क्योंकि राम अभी छोटे ही हैं, लाइक अराउंड 8-9 months ओल्ड और a year old. और उसके हाथ में छोटा सा धनुष है और कृष्ण के हाथ में छोटा सा बांसुरी, स्मॉल लिटिल फ्लूट इन द हैंड ऑफ कृष्णा. बोथ आर सिटिंग. Ram is just sitting and looking at it, and Krishna is taking sand and throwing at him. Ram is quietly sitting and Krishna is pinching him. Why? Because Krishna cannot sit quietly. He has to do some activity. कभी राम के गाल खींचता तो कभी उसके बाल खींचता. Sometimes pulling his cheek, sometimes his hair. एंड राम इतने सीधे हैं, रोते भी नहीं है। कृष्ण बड़ा मजा ले रहा है, हंसते जा रहा है, लाइक ही इज पुलिंग एंड ही इज प्लेइंग एंड ही इज लाफिंग, बट राम इज जस्ट सिटिंग क्वाइटली, जस्ट वंडरिंग व्हाट इज ही डूइंग, ये कर क्या रहा है। एंड कृष्णा इन दैट मोमेंट व्हाट ही डज इज he pulls the cheek of Ram so tightly that it became all red, and that moment another small little baby crawled. It also looks exactly like them except some few deadlocks on his head. And he is carrying a small little trishul and he is also crawling towards that. Then now imagine on one side Krishna is sitting, in the between Ram is there and Shiva is sitting on the other side. अब राम के इष्ट शिव, शिव के इष्ट राम। अब शिव बैठ के क्या देख रहे हैं कि कृष्ण राम को परेशान कर रहा है। कृष्णा इज पुलिंग हिज चीक, हिज हेयर एंड जस्ट डूइंग एंड थ्रोइंग दैट soil on him. Shiva, what he does, he takes the trishul and pokes to Krishna. तो ये क्या कर रहा है? Why are you doing this? He's such a nice boy, he's sitting quietly. Why are you doing like this? So he's poking him. Krishna gets angry looking at it, throws a little soil on his face, and he pokes more. Then Krishna does not sit silent. He shouts out loud. And in that moment, when he's angry, what he does is he throws his flute towards Ram and pulls the bow of Ram and holds it. अपना बांसुरी उसके हाथ में देके उसका धनुष ले लेता है. And by the sound of Krishna, the mothers came running. What happened to my kid? By that time, this third kid guest appearance disappears. The mothers come, क्या हुआ क्या हुआ क्या हुआ, क्यों लाला रो रहा है? But what they see is because both are look-alike. The only way they can realize is with what they are carrying. Now Yashoda thinks Ram to be Krishna because the bansuri is falling near him, and Kaushalya takes Krishna as Ram because he is handling the bow. राम के हाथ, कृष्ण के हाथ में धनुष है लेकिन उसको राम समझ के उठा लेती है, और राम के हाथ में बांसुरी है तो वो उसे कृष्ण समझ के उठा लेती है. एंड देन दे से ओके इट इज नाउ टाइम, लेट्स गो, विल मीट सम अदर टाइम. राम रह गए कृष्ण के घर, कृष्ण चले गए राम के घर. और जैसे ही राम को लेके पहुंचते हैं, राम रह जाते हैं सॉरी कृष्ण के घर में, दिन भर बिल्कुल चुपचाप बैठा हुआ है, कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा. यशोदा परेशान कि व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू माय किड, व्हाई ही इज सो साइलेंट टुडे, is not even doing any mischief, not even asking for food, nothing. And what she does is, उसे माखन पसंद है, so she brings माखन and puts it into mouth, and Ram says because he does not like it. But Yashoda is putting in his mouth, and Ram सभ्य है, वो कहता है ठीक है अब जबरदस्ती खिला रहे तो खिलाओ. But there is no sound, no noise. The same time there, कृष्णा जो राम के घर में है, उनका खाने का वक्त आ गया. In that palace, Sistachar means everything is done in a process where Ram has a small little asan for him. He would sit there and eat the food. And Dashrath would sit by his side on his mat, and they both will sit together and they will eat from their own plates. That was the paddhati. That was the process. लेकिन आज कौन है उसके घर में? कृष्ण है. कृष्ण की आदत यह है कि वो कभी अकेले बैठ के नहीं खाएगा. He will never eat alone. He used to sit in the lap of Nand and eat the food. अब आज कृष्ण को जो राम को पसंद है खिलाया जा रहा है, और राम को वो खिलाया जा रहा है जो कृष्ण को पसंद है. नंद क्या कर रहे हैं? राम को कृष्ण समझ के अपने वो गोद में बिठा के उसको खिलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और राम फिसल जा रहा है. He does not want to sit. He wants to go away because he has the another place where he used to sit and eat. And here today Ram जो बन के कृष्ण जो राम बन के बैठा, he jumps into the lap of Dashrath. Dashrath initially says, wow, what a beautiful day, राम आज आप हमारे पास. कभी तो ऐसे करते नहीं हो. You never do this. Okay, so if you have come today, उसको बड़ा लाड़ प्यार करते, बोले आज आज राम हमारे पास बैठे, राम को खिलाने की कोशिश कर रहे. राम क्या करते? दोनों हाथ दाल में, like puts his hands into the dal, brings it out and puts it on the beard of Dashrath. अब दशरथ परेशान कि राम तो कभी ऐसा करता नहीं है. राम विल नेवर डू सच एक्टिविटीज. कभी उनके दाढ़ी खींचता, कभी उसके मूछ खींचता, कभी पूरा का पूरा दाल चावल उसके ऊपर लगा देता, क्योंकि खाना नहीं है उसे. ये परेशानी हो रही है. दशरथ को समझ में नहीं आ रहा व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू राम, व्हाई इज ही बिहेविंग इन दिस वे. इनिशियली ही थॉट इट इज गुड, but later on he started thinking like what has happened. And there also the same problem. Nand is trying to keep him on his lap. He's running away. He wants to sit alone. He's trying to feed him. He says, no, no, no. Then after a long time, what they saw that after a lot of drama that Krishna did there, what happens next is, in the place of Ram, Krishna is there. So his friends come. And Ram's friends are also like Ram. वो आते हैं और कहते हैं, प्रिय राम हमारे साथ चलें, कुछ थोड़ा खेल खेलते हैं. मीन्स सभ्यता, ऑल द राइट वे. प्लीज कम विथ अस, विल डू समथिंग, विल प्ले, विल डू दैट, विल डू दिस. लेकिन कृष्ण को वो सब मतलब नहीं है. उसको फोड़ना तोड़ना यही सब आता है. एंड टुडे द फ्रेंड्स ऑफ राम took Krishna thinking him to be Ram, and you know what he did? He beat up everyone. सबको पीट डाला. And everybody came crying to Kaushalya, saying, what has happened to Ram today? He's beating up everyone. He has broken all the toys. And now we don't know what we have to do. Now, Kaushalya starts thinking, what is the problem? He acted very differently in the lap of Dashrath also. His hitting patterns, and now he's fighting. And वहां पे क्या हो रहा है? कृष्ण के जितने दोस्त कृष्ण के जैसे हैं, वो बोलते चल आज ये तोड़ते, उसकी मटकी फोड़ते, वो आम तोड़ते, इसके घर में चोरी करते, ये करते. बट राम बिल्कुल चुपचाप खड़े. और उसके दोस्त उसको घसीट के लिए कहते, बोला तो ये पागल हो गया तुम्हारा बच्चा. दे कम टू Yashoda and says, what has happened? You see, he must have fever or something. He's not playing today. He's not broken a single thing. Check out. Now, when they clearly look at him, there, Yashoda is looking at Ram, and Kaushalya is looking at Krishna and says, what has exactly happened? And when they look at them very closely, through their eyes, बिकॉज राम की जो आंखें हैं वो बिल्कुल स्थिर शांत होते हैं, और कृष्ण की जो आंखें हैं वो इधर उधर भागती रहती है. देन बाय लुकिंग एट इट, देन यशोदा रियलाइज दैट दिस इज राम, एंड कौशल्या रियलाइजेस दिस इज कृष्णा, एंड दे बोथ स्टार्टेड लाफिंग एट ईच अदर. अरे रे रे रे, बच्चा बदल गया है. We have exchanged our kids. Then both of them starts again together. And both of them come together. And both of them are looking at each other. Means Yashoda and Kaushal are looking at each other. They cannot stop their smile. Now both are holding Yashoda के पास राम, कौशल्या के पास कृष्ण. And now the final. The exchange will happen. And this is something that I'm not going to narrate. This is something that should happen within you. Now you come to a place where the exchange of Ram should happen and Krishna should happen, and look at both the kids. कैसे हैं दोनों, फिर से प्यार से देखना उनके तरफ, and now you should become the one who exchanges them back to the right places. राम को राम के स्थान पे और कृष्ण को कृष्ण के स्थान पे. Now whatever you want to do, I give you 2 minutes time. ये 2 मिनट के अंदर एक्सचेंज हो जाने चाहिए. अगर एक्सचेंज नहीं हुआ, then the guest appearance will again come and with a trishul, and this time he will poke you because you have just been given a task to make Ram reach his home and Krishna reach his home, and your time starts now. Just forget everything and just become that. Now the third baby started walking with a trident in his hand. Now the guest appearance is also standing with the trident in his hand. Looking at you, are you doing the right thing, or he will poke you? Some people have already felt it in their legs. Exchange. A celebration happens within you. Ram goes to his home. Krishna goes to his home. But that Leela reverberates within you. And the guest is smiling. You did the right thing. And slowly everything fades into just a white light. And it becomes like a blanket of white light and it falls on you. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. Open your eyes. What is Ram? What is Krishna? What was that place? You will realize this. राम को पुरुषोत्तम कहते हैं. And the quality of Krishna is never to stop at one place. It always runs here and there. Yes? And when somebody dies, when they are carried, people say Ram Naam Satya hai. Right? So what is this plot? Who is the Ram who has returned back home? And who is the Krishna who has found its home again? क्या राम आपकी आत्मा हो सकता है? क्या कृष्ण आपकी बुद्धि हो सकता है? अगर बुद्धि को आत्मा के घर लेके आओगे तो कांड कर देगा. If you bring your buddhi to your atma, it will keep on playing. You will never find path back. और अगर अपने बुद्धि में अपने आत्मा को लगा दिए तो भटकता रहेगा. One will never find the path, the other will be always be revolving around. So कृष्ण को बुद्धि में, राम को आत्मा में. आप बोलोगे ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि संसार को चलाने के लिए कृष्ण की बुद्धि की जरूरत है और आत्मा को सजग रखने के लिए राम की जरूरत है. आत्मा रामानंद रमण. That's where it comes from. Atma Ram. So has your thought become Krishna? Because Krishna is always running. Because if your thought becomes Krishna, then your thought will change. It will become divine. And if you realize that Atman within you as Ram, that will change. And the guest appearance will always be standing with a trident, making sure the exchange does not happen in the wrong way. जब भी आप अपने हृदय को बुद्धि से लगाओगे वो पोक करेगा. जब आप बुद्धि को प्रेम से लगाओगे तब भी पोक करेगा. That means it will only stand at a place and it will only say. संसार के लिए बुद्धि, भगवान के लिए हृदय. जिस दिन संसार के लिए हृदय लगाओगे और जिस दिन भगवान के लिए बुद्धि लगाओगे तब भी. So thank you for bringing back Ram and bringing back Krishna. And it's amazing. Like Deepika ji has not left anyone. She brought all the three along with her. It's so amazing. बहुत अच्छी बात है. घर में बहुत जगह हो गई आपकी. So when if you can have that space within you, who says that they cannot stay together? And I think these kids should keep on playing in our hearts. In this body that I say. In this body till now the world was playing. From this day on, the Creator plays. May you all realize whatever I'm trying to say. May you all experience what I'm trying to bring in. Because that experience will change everything in this life. So thank you all. And I am also happy that I was able to complete my homework. And thank you to some people. Because of them, I was actually able to complete. I was thinking why I was not able to complete, because I was starting at 6 o'clock. Today we woke up early, so we were able to complete that. And most probably the next time when I will be coming with a beautiful life story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that day, देखेंगे गंगा जमुना कौन रोकता है. Who will stop the flow of Ganga and Jamuna? We'll also see. कितना बड़ा बाढ़ बना के रख दो, हम उसको फांद लेंगे. Whatever dam you create, we will jump over it. So come prepared. Anyways, the next, because I have already declared some time ago that I will take something on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So be ready. But what all you learned today, what all you earned today, whatever you have become today, do share it as a pointer so that it might be a reminder for all of us. Okay? Thank you so much. Now you are free to go and make your breakfast, food, take care of your family, but take care of yourself also. And at the same time, take care of all those that have downloaded within you. Divinity downloaded 2.0. Thank you so much. With this happy note, till we meet again on Wednesday, Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. May all your pain become your prayers. Thank you so much. And may you find liberation now.